Harikathamritasara gurugala karunadinta panitu peluve Parama Bhagavad Bhaktaridanādaradi Keluvudu. The Harikathamritasara. This magnus opus is not just a book of verses, it's a timeless manual for peaceful, purpose-driven living built on the foundations of Sriman Madhvacharya's Dvaita Siddhanta. A text that doesn't just teach philosophy but shows us how to live with clarity, humility and devotion even in the toughest of times. That saint is Sri Jagannatha Dasa. How his words can guide us even in the age of uncertainty and AI. Harihi Om Jalajeshta Nibhakaram Jagadisha Padashrayam Jagati Talavikhyatam Jagannatha Gurum Bhaje. Today, we live in a time of AI revolutions, job uncertainties, rising stress, and endless distractions. In the middle of all this, what if I told you that a saint nearly 300 years ago in Karnataka wrote a masterpiece still called the Philosophical Kannada literature? A text that doesn't just teach philosophy but shows us how to live with clarity, humility and devotion even in the toughest of times. That saint is Sri Jagannatha Dasa, or as millions lovingly call him, Sri Jagannatha Dasaru. From arrogance to surrender, from illness to divine grace, from scholarly pride to becoming a voice of bhakti for the common man, his life is a mirror for us, especially in today's world of ego and restlessness. And there's no better time to remember him than now. Bhadrapada Shukla Navami, the spiritual world commemorates the Aradhane of Sri Jagannatha Dasaru. This is the sacred day when devotees reflect on his life, his message and his eternal gift to us, the Harikathamritasara. This magnus opus is not just a book of verses, it's a timeless manual for peaceful, purpose-driven living built on the foundations of Sriman Madhvacharya's Dvaita Siddhanta. Stay with us in this episode of Vedic Wellness Podcast from Supersoul Foundation as we journey through the life, transformation and works of this extraordinary saint scholar. By the end, you will discover how his words can guide us even in the age of uncertainty and AI. So let's begin. Sri Jagannatha Dasa, born as Srinivasacharya in 1727 at Vyagavati, a place in Raichur district, was destined to be a shining light of Haridasa tradition. From a young age, he displayed extraordinary brilliance, mastering Sanskrit, Kannada and philosophy under the guidance of Sri Varadendra Tirtha of Raghavendra Math. He quickly earned the title of Acharya for his debating skills and deep scholarship. But success brought pride. Srinivasacharya began to look down upon Haridasas who sang in Kannada for the masses, dismissing them as unlearned. His arrogance peaked when he insulted the great Sri Vijayadasaru, rejecting a holy meal with disdain. Divine justice soon followed. He was struck with a painful stomach illness that no medicine or penance could cure. In despair, he had a vision of Sri Raghavendra Swami, who directed him to seek Sri Gopala Dasaru. Meeting Gopala Dasaru was a turning point. The saint revealed that his suffering was born of arrogance. With tears of humility, Srinivasacharya surrendered. Tested by his guru, he was finally accepted, and during the pilgrimage to Tirupati, when his health collapsed, Gopala Dasaru even gave a part of his own lifespan to revive him. Later, in Pandharpur, Srinivasacharya discovered a stone with the words Jagannatha Vithala inscribed on it. This divine sign became his Ankita Nama, the signature of his songs. From that day, he was no longer a proud scholar, but a Jagannatha Dasa, a humble servant of Jagannatha, Lord Srihari. As Jagannatha Dasa, he composed countless kirtanas in Kannada, making philosophy accessible to all. His songs carried the fragrance of Bhakti into homes and streets. He influenced even the great mathas, where his devotion brought Dasarapadas into the temple worship. He humbled arrogant pandits not through ego but through wisdom and songs. Kings, scholars, and common people alike bowed to his depth. His life shows us the true greatness lies not in the knowledge alone, but in humility, surrender, and service. From pride to devotion, his journey became a mirror for all who struggle with ego in this restless age. In his later years, even as his body weakened, Jagannatha Dasaru composed his greatest gift to humanity, the Harikathamritasara. Written in the Bhamini Shetpadi meter, this text is revered as the Philosophic of Kannada. The opening shloka begins, Harikathamritasara Gurugala Karunadinta Panitu Peluve Parama Bhagavad Bhaktaridanādaradi Keluvudu Adaradi Keluvudu. Meaning, with the blessings of my Guru and the lineage of Gurus, I humbly present this nectar of Sri Hari's stories. May the supreme devotees of the Lord who seek only Him and His grace listen with love and reverence. This sets the tone. The work is not his personal pride but a humble offering, blessed by Guru and meant only for true seekers of Lord Sri Hari. The Harikathamritasara is structured into 32 cantos, also called sandhis, with the 33rd Phalashruti Sandhi composed by his disciple Sri Shrida Vittala Dasaru. Together, they present the essence of Tattvavada, the Dvaita philosophy of Sriman Madhvacharya. Over centuries, it has inspired commentaries in Kannada, Telugu, and Sanskrita, notably the commentary by Sri Sankarshana Odayar, who expanded on its subtle meanings. Both poetic and philosophical, it's a treasure that teaches Sarvothama, Vayu Jivothama, and the power of humility and Bhakti. The Harikathamritasara unfolds like a spiritual journey. Each of its 32 cantos or the sandhis is a gem of wisdom showing how every aspect of life and creation is filled with presence of Lord Sri Hari. The first chapter is Mangalacharana Sandhi. Begins with invocation offering salutations to Guru, deities and saints. It reminds us that blessings of Guru and devotion are essential to approach Lord Sri Hari's truth. Second is Karuna Sandhi. It praises Lord Sri Hari's boundless compassion, assuring that He accepts even the smallest act of devotion, elevating the humble and sincere. The third is Vyapti Sandhi. This affirms that Lord Sri Hari's omnipresence, declaring that He pervades all worlds and functions as the Antaryami, the inner controller of every being. The fourth, Bhojana Rasa Vibhaga Sandhi. Sri Hari as Annadata, the giver of food. Even our nourishment is divine, and feeding others becomes worship when offered in His name. Fifth is Vibhuti Sandhi. Lord Sri Hari's presence shines through the sacred symbols like Saligrama and Tulasi in the celestial bodies and within human body parts, reminding us of the sacredness of life itself. The sixth is Pancha Maha Yagna Sandhi. This teaches the 5 daily yagnas of the sacrifices, showing that our ordinary actions of speech, study, hospitality and care for beings become sacred when offered to Lord Narayana. Seventh is Pancha Tanmatra Sandhi. This explains Sri Hari's pervasion in the 5 subtle elements sound, touch, form, taste, smell, through which he sustains and governs all the existence. Eighth, Matrika Sandhi. This describes Sri Hari's power within our body's joints and functions, showing us that every moment is enabled by his divine presence. Ninth is Varna Prakriya Sandhi. This declares that all the letters, sounds and mantras originate in Lord Sri Hari only. Language itself becomes sacred when it praises him. 10th, Sarva Samarpana Sandhi. This teaches surrender. Every thought, word and action must be dedicated to Lord Sri Hari, freeing us from ego and possessiveness. 11th, Dhyana Prakriya Sandhi. Stresses meditation on Sri Hari's forms within the senses. Devotion without awareness is incomplete. True meditation strengthens Bhakti. 12th is Nadi Prakarana Sandhi. Sri Hari, along with Lakshmi Devi, resides in the 72,000 subtle nadis of the human body, sustaining life and guiding the inner energy. 13th is Namasmarana Sandhi. It affirms the power of chanting the Lord's names, whether intentional or casual, to dissolve sins, fears and worldly anxieties. 14th is Pitrugana Sandhi. This shows that ancestor worship, Shraddha Karma, is in truth an offering to Lord Sri Hari, who grants both Aihika, the worldly, and otherworldly Paramarthika blessings. The 15th is Shwasa Sandhi. Each breath is divine. The Mukhya Prana Deva in us resides the Hamsa Mantra as long as we live, reminding us that life itself is Lord Sri Hari's gift. 16th Sandhi is Datta Swatantriya Sandhi. This explains that Lord Sri Hari is independent, yet grants limited freedom to the souls to act, while remaining the true controller of outcomes. 17th Sandhi is Swagata Swatantriya Sandhi. Even devas and demons with apparent freedom ultimately act only by Lord Sri Hari's will. All karma unfolds under his governance. 18th Sandhi is Krida Vilasa Sandhi. The world is Lord Sri Hari's divine play, the Leela. Souls act within his cosmic sport, but Bhakti alone brings the liberation. 19th Sandhi is Karma Vimochana Sandhi. This teaches freedom from bondage by dedicating all karma to Lord Sri Hari. Rituals without devotion are fruitless, but surrendered acts liberate. 20th, Guna Taratamya Sandhi. This defines the hierarchy among the beings based on the qualities gunas, with Lord Sri Hari being the supreme and Lakshmi Devi the next and Vayu Devaru foremost among the souls. 21st is Brihat Taratamya Sandhi. This explains the hierarchy in detail, covering deities, sages and humans, emphasizing the Dvaita's core doctrine of differentiation. 22nd, Sakala Durita Nivarana Sandhi. A prayer for the removal of the sins and obstacles, stressing the unqualified surrender as the only true protection. 23rd, Kalpa Sadhana Sandhi. This describes the spiritual progression culminating in Aparoksha Gnana, the direct realization of Supreme Lord Sri Hari, leading to eternal bliss. 24th, Bimbopasana Sandhi. This explains the Bimba Pratibimba relationship, the soul as reflection of Supreme Lord Sri Hari with all devotion meant for him. 25th is Arohana Taratamya Sandhi. This presents the ascendary hierarchy from the inanimate beings to humans, devas, Lakshmi Devi and finally Lord Sri Hari. 26th is Avarohana Taratamya Sandhi. lists the descending hierarchy of deities, sages and souls, stressing the proper order in worship. 27th is Anukramanika Taratamya Sandhi. Systematically enumerates the ranks of creation, showing the cosmic order of dependence. 28th is Vigneshwara Stotra Sandhi. This invokes Lord Ganesha, the remover of obstacles, so that the devotee may progress unhindered in Sri Hari's devotion. 29th is Anutaratamya Sandhi. Refines the hierarchy, showing subtle gradations among the devas, humans and asuras, emphasizing their inherent natures. 30th is Daitya Taratamya Sandhi. Details of ordering among the demons their ignorance and hostility to Lord Srihari, reminding us of the dangers of ego and illusion. 31st, Naivedya Samarpana Sandhi. This guides devotees to offer food and acts of worship with devotion, recognizing Lord Srihari as the true enjoyer. 32nd and the last is Kaksha Taratamya Sandhi. Concludes the work with a grand invocation celebrating Lord Srihari's supremacy, infinite attributes and his protection of his devotees. The 33rd is Palashruti Sandhi, written by Sri Shrida Vithala Dasaru. This promises blessings, removal of ignorance, long life, prosperity, health and above all, devotion to Lord Srihari for those who recite or study the Harikathamritasara. In essence, the Harikathamritasara teaches that Srihari pervades all our food, breath, senses, language and karma. The universe functions within a divinely ordained hierarchy, with Srihari as the supreme and Vayudeva the foremost among the souls. Devotion, humility and surrender are the true path to liberation. Chanting Lord Srihari's name, meditating on his forms and offering every act to him transform daily life into worship. The work is both a cosmic map and a practical manual, showing that in all times Lord Srihari alone is the source, sustainer and liberator. As we close this journey into the life and works of Sri Jagannatha Dasaru, let us remember what made him great. It was not his scholarship, not his mastery of Samskrita, not even the poetic genius. It was his humility and surrender, born out of suffering, transformed by Guru's grace and anchored forever in the devotion of Supreme Lord Srihari. His Harikathamritasara remains a beacon teaching us that Srihari is supreme, present in every breath, every sound and every act. Knowledge without surrender is empty, but devotion turns even the simplest life into nectar. True liberation lies not in the escaping life, but in living it as an offering to the Lord. On this sacred day of his Aradhana, Bhadrapada Shukla Navami, let us not just celebrate him with words, but live his message. Maybe by chanting the Lord's name with sincerity each morning, by offering gratitude before every meal, or by remembering that even our breath is a gift sustained by Mukhya Prana in Sri Hari's service. At the Vedic Wellness Forum, we invite you to deepen this remembrance through Prana Yagna, a simple 24-minute breath practice to anchor the mind and open the hearts to devotion. Just as Jagannatha Dasaru gave us the nectar of Lord Srihari's Katha, the story, we too can sip the nectar of Lord Srihari's presence through our breath and remembrance. So dear listeners, let us walk forward carrying his light with humility, surrender and constant remembrance of Supreme Lord Srihari. In this lies the true peace amidst uncertainty, strength amidst challenges and joy amidst change. Until we meet again, may Sri Jagannatha Dasaru's blessings guide you always. Hari Om.